Hey TCO fam, stay tuned at the very end of this episode after the palate cleanser for a hilarious clip from episode 5 of The Staircase, which you can find on our Patreon feed. Just a few extra bonus laughs to send you off this week. Jillian Pensavalle.
Patrick Hines.
Hi, girl.
Hey, girl.
You guys, our live shows are sold out.
Oh.
I don't know what to say. Our live shows are two live shows completely sold out. I know. It's insane. We are so excited. We actually, before we started recording, we were like talking logistics and what we're going to do and what it's going to be.
I know.
So you guys stay tuned. If you didn't get tickets to this, we've been reading all the Facebook messages and all the stuff that you're posting. I know you want to see it even if you can't make it. We're figuring that out.
Yeah.
We're thinking about doing other shows, other places. So stay tuned.
Yeah, we're on it. And we're like so excited and doesn't even feel real how excited and like the feedback we've gotten. So thank you guys so much.
We can't wait. You guys, quickly, don't forget to check out our Patreon if you want to hear our coverage of The Staircase or Serial or hear our interviews with Asia McClain.
We just did an episode of The Staircase that both of us were like, this was so fucking boring, nothing happened. And Patrick almost fell over because you were laughing
I was laughing so hard. I was like, I think this is the hardest I've ever laughed at anything. It was, you guys, it was raw funny.
I don't know how we do it, but we find it. You know, it's a lot of facial expressions,
It's
which
true.
I know, like, it's not a visual medium, but it's
I know.
fun to describe Frida Black and all of her
glory. All of her blowouts.
That rouge.
All right, girl, what are we talking about today?
Well, we are wrapping up Wild Country.
Can you believe it? We're getting through episodes 5 and 6 today.
I know. You know, it was interesting to live with the Rashnishis for these 6 episodes.
It was.
And be in their world. I'm happy to say goodbye. I love them, but it's creepy. The whole thing is scary.
Will you do my favorite thing where you are Sheila calling them dirty hippies?
Oh. You can meditate later. Get back to work, you goddamn hippies. I'm not doing an accent. I'm not going to do that. God.
What are you, a monster?
No. I mean, yeah, but I'm not going to do that accent. You guys come for me for everything. I'm not going to do an impression of Sheila. God.
If I didn't take measures to protect our community, no one else would do it.
We call upon the governor to disarm this cult's army now.
If the government does decide to get you, they're going to get you.
Who would poison a whole town?
The Rajneeshis set a stage for a big outbreak to influence the election.
They had no evidence.
They were facing immigration fraud, smuggling.
The Rajneeshis came this close to murdering a presidential appointee.
There is bias, there is prejudgment, religious discrimination.
And this is democracy. I've had enough of it.
We were going to mount a full-scale assault.
We will be ready to protect ourselves.
I'd grown up understanding thou shalt not kill. What had happened?
There's darkness in all of us. Doesn't make you a bad person.
All right, girl, where does it start?
Well, we're in Germany in 1985.
Yeah.
With a song creepily saying, "You better run for your life." So, I mean, when we last left, Sheila pieced out.
She did.
So she's gone. So that's why we're in Germany in 1985.
And Boring Jane went with her. There's 21 people in this group total.
Right. And they're all hanging out in Germany. And again, the footage is unbelievable. But now this is a worldwide phenomenon and crazy story.
Where do they get the footage?
I think these now are, many of them are just news. This is just old news footage.
Sheila is sitting, she's wearing a white sweater and she's eating soup and she looks so sad. She's like basically crying into her soup.
Right, but she's at the head of the table.
So then we pop down to the basement of this little hotel and we meet one of the housekeepers.
In the laundry room.
Yeah.
And the newscaster's like,
"Are strange things happening here in your hotel?"
Yes, very strange.
What?
I see only red clothes. And I don't know why that's happening.
It's like, wait, everyone in the world knows. There's like a manhunt for the Bagwan. And like, what do you think? So boring Jane is like, I need time to think things through.
At this point, I'm calling her Garbage Jane. She just abandoned her kid.
Yeah.
Got on a plane with Sheela, and like, all she can talk about is how she's so devoted to Sheela.
But what Jane says, which I totally agree with, she's like, look, love Sheela or hate her, she did an excellent job. She was called to do a job, and she did it better than anyone could have done it. And she did it all for the Bagwan, who now is out to get her and kill her.
We had just left, and Bagwan was sending the dogs after us. And it was clear that he was out to destroy Sheela.
But I love that Sheela, like, to camera, is like, I confronted Bagwan.
Right. Is this when she's in the horse and buggy?
Yes, it's the old news footage, and Sheela is being driven around in a horse and buggy for this interview.
Will you be putting on a red robe again?
Not right now. It's a question of my safety, my physical safety.
She's like, I don't know. I mean, they're all trying to kill me. Maybe later, maybe a couple years down the road when I know I'm safe. But like, what are you talking about?
So this is insane. For the next like 20 minutes, we get like Sheela and the Bagwan just going back and forth at each other
through the press.
It's insane.
This might be the beginning of, now we live in a world where like every tragedy gets its own theme song and logo. And I guess back in 1985, they were just trying to get their feet wet with it, and they went super no chill 100 because on some local news station has like the feature story about like the big breakup between Sheela and the Bagwan, and the newscasters are calling it The Empress Strikes Back. Star Wars had just come out, and the imagery is like the Star Wars font, and like it's supposed to look like the poster of the movie. And so this is what a big deal it was.
Totally.
And they have this crazy setup where like, so he's on some talk show, and then she's talking to him through a video that's on another TV, like in front of him.
But it's not like via satellite.
No,
like,
it's like
just a recording of her talking, and he's sitting there, he's staring daggers.
Would you like to have a look at what she has to say to you?
Bagwan, it's time that you let people know who you are, the way I have come to know you, which is that on one hand, you're a genius and a beautiful man, and on the other hand, you really exploit people by using their human frailty and emotions.
He looks so scary, and he just goes, she's drugged. She's on hard drugs. I was terrified. And now Sheila's like, yup, it was all a con. I knew all about it.
You said also that the Bagwan was really not the slightest bit interested in enlightenment, so it was a con.
Absolutely.
You, as the queen, presided over an empire built on a gigantic con.
Yes, I did preside over it.
So Sheela is now just trying to get ahead of the whole thing.
Totally.
She's a very good press person.
Burn it down, Sheela. Burn it down, girl.
And then, typical man, the Bagwan's like, she always wanted to sleep with me. Shh.
I have never made love to her. That much is certain. Perhaps that is the jealousy. She always wanted.
His thing was driving me insane.
It is so
in this
annoying.
Episode. It's horrible.
And he's just like, we get it. You're the big evil villain now. You always were, P.S. Right. But now he's like, all right, if you want me to play that role, I'll do it. Whatever. Yeah, shut up. God. And then he says she didn't grow up to be a woman. She grew up to be a perfect bitch. I thought, it's going to get Carrie in here real quick. The doors are going to lock. Fire's going to happen. That's the look on his face. He could shut those doors and cause a fire. It's going to get real Carrie real quick. So then Sheela, like back in the horse and buggy, whatever. Sheila's asked.
Guys, it's an interview in a horse and buggy.
I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not doing it for the joke. It's actual. It's there. Why exaggerate when the truth is just as ridiculous? So Sheila's being asked about Jane stabbing the doctor. Remember how Jane stabbed and then
you
just
guys,
ran away?
He lived. We find out that he lived.
Right. And Jane stabbed him in the butt, apparently. I guess probably because you couldn't feel it. I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh.
So Sheela is told this, laughs like a hyena. It's the funniest thing she's ever heard.
He says you tried to poison his doctor, his dentist, his caretaker, that one of your assistants jabbed his doctor in the butt with a poison needle.
That's very nice. Did she do a good job?
The doctor apparently is still alive.
Then obviously she didn't do a good job.
Then obviously she didn't do a very good job. Sheela. So Sheela is in Germany with these 21 followers, really. And what it's becoming very clear by Jane or by Sheela herself that Sheela is the new Bagwan.
Yes.
Because Jane says,
we were a group of 21 people, and we were in danger. So that really brought us together. I certainly was following Sheila's lead. I became absolutely devoted to Sheela, and she became my substitute master.
Her substitute master? What the fuck are you talking about?
So I have literally written out, does she not know how insane that sounds?
No.
My substitute master?
Just live your life, girl.
Girl, call your son. He doesn't know who you are.
Call Kevin.
Yes.
And then we see Sheela like running and jumping in the street, leading people who are all wearing red and orange.
Yeah.
And like they're following her and she is leading them. It's all very clear.
And this is all before the opening credits, you guys.
And then after the opening credits, now we're back to Oregon.
Right. First person we see is Lunny Press Relations.
Lunny Press Relations, hey girl.
She literally says it was like a bomb went off. So basically what's happening is we're getting the aftermath on the ranch of what happened when Sheela and the followers took off.
Right.
It was a bomb for everybody. It was a bomb for the press. It was a bomb for the sannyasins. It was a bomb for Bagwan. I mean, he was in shock himself. He looked in shock. But there was a sense of, we don't know who's staying. We don't know who's going. We don't know what's going to happen with the movement. We don't even know if he's staying or going.
And all of these dummies didn't see it coming. It's like, I guess we've only been seeing it from like Sheela and the lawyer who won't stop crying's point of view.
Right.
But like none of these people knew that like there was trouble in paradise.
Yes, they did. Because they all start singing like canaries when the FBI shows up and they're like, I always knew something was wrong. It's always the way. And the thing is, like, as Lunny Press Relations was talking and rambling, I was just like, wow, like, some people just really wanted that sense of community. Like, there were some people like Jane who call people substitute masters and will kill elected officials or whatever. But I think there were some people who really heard about this great peace and love place or whatever.
Right.
And just really wanted to have a sense of community. Like, I don't think everyone is 100% crazy.
No, I agree. And Lunny Press Relations is saying, like, at that point, they didn't even know if the Bagwan was going to stay. And I immediately had this image of him just, like, giving it all up and going to Portland and getting a job as a hotel manager.
Did he have to shave?
Right. I was like, can you imagine he just, like, goes to, like, the local supermarket and gets a job as, like, a checkout person?
He's like, oh, God, finally I can shower. I can shave. Like,
I can talk.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to silence for 4 years.
Guess what? That S thing, totally fake. Yes, I can talk like a real person now. So Lunny Press Relations is crying and saying that, like, she can't understand how anyone could be around Osho, who's so beautiful and perfect, and turn bad.
Just even to think of it now, it's like, what happened to these people that they could go so wrong and be around him? That was beyond wild for me. And I also, I really felt for them. I thought they had gone crazy.
Is she kidding?
Right.
Speaking of crying.
Yeah.
Crying lawyer is crying.
I've shortened it to LOOST, which stands for lawyer who won't stop crying.
LOOST.
Yeah. LWWST. I turned the two W's into a long O sound.
Yeah, no, I like
LOOST.
it. LOOST. Great.
You guys, he won't stop crying. Modern day lawyer, in the videos of him from back in the day, he's crying.
These two episodes specifically.
He's a basket case.
He really is always crying. I know we were saying a little hyperbole. He won't stop crying. Now he actually won't stop crying.
He really can't stop. Get him a glass of water, you guys. The guy needs to hydrate.
He's like, do we want to be here together or do we not? Crying.
I feel like we have a basic choice. And that is, do we want to be here together? Or do we not?
Girl, pull yourself together.
Answer.
You're the face of this company right now.
He's kept a lot of that hair, I gotta say.
Whatever.
I know.
God. And so this is the first time where he's like, well, I always knew Sheela was a megalomaniac. I always saw it coming. You're a lawyer who saw it all coming, and you just sat there and did nothing and cried about it?
Right.
Fuck out of it. He's like, everyone thought the clouds had lifted. Oh, now everyone thought the clouds lifted. Got it. How convenient that is.
You guys, guess who's the new secretary?
Who's the new secretary?
If you had to guess who the new secretary was, Hasya.
She's back in all of her rich glory.
Hey, girl.
You love her.
Listen, she and I are connoisseurs of the best. What can I say?
You guys are basically the same person.
We are both super rich, super skinny. We've got great hair.
Yeah.
And we are connoisseurs of the damn best.
Absolutely.
Sheila's replacement is a wealthy movie producer named Hasya. She put together the film Godfather, is now in charge of bringing peace to the ranch.
The newscaster says she, quote, made The Godfather. You guys, she was married to the producer of The Godfather who won the Oscar for it, and they are now divorced. And
true.
She's part of the Bagwan cult. She did not make The Godfather. You can't just believe what these sannyasins tell you.
I know.
Did you do your research?
Speaking of, she's one of the ones we never find out what happens to her. We don't know.
Yeah.
Hasya, girl, call us.
So now, when Sheela left, she took the mayor and half the city council with her to Germany. Which is ridiculous. They fought so hard, and they all just got out with Sheela in the middle of the night. It's like, it is so, like, what is happening? You guys fought so hard, and they're pieced out.
We got to talk about the mayor for 1 second, because they call him KD. Do you know what that's short for?
What?
Krishna Diva.
Okay.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
KD.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. So they ask Loost, is that him?
Loost, lawyer who won't stop crying.
So they ask Loost to be the mayor, and it's the best day of his life.
It's true.
Except the day he was born in the 40s where there were lynchings, but it's the best day ever. So Osho is like, hey, you should run for mayor. And he's like, great, that's all I need, more work. Am I right? I'm like, we get it, you're a lawyer. You're always stressed. You're always working. You always have a brief to read. I totally get it. So basically, he was appointed mayor.
And we were all trying to pull it together and save the community. So there was hope.
So now the Bagwan is shocked. He's shocked to find out that there's gambling in this establishment. He was shocked about Sheela, and everyone is shocked.
Now he's talking again, and what he's saying has left his disciples speechless. Tales of attempted murder, of spying and sabotage and betrayal by his closest aides at Rajneeshpuram.
Sheela wanted one of our pilots to take the bombs and crash the plane against the Vasco County office.
And so the FBI gets involved. Right. And it's hilarious because at first the Rajneeshis are like, great, the FBI's involved, we're going to track down Sheela. The FBI is like, no, bitch.
No.
We are looking at all of your shit now.
Right.
When Bagwan made these allegations, that gave us the key to the door.
That invited the FBI onto the ranch for the first time to investigate crimes that were within the jurisdiction of the FBI.
So the FBI now has just access to everything.
What's the first thing they saw when they pulled up to the ranch?
People having sex on a bridge.
Yep.
As I drove into town, the first thing I saw was a couple engaged in sex on a bridge at the far west end of the community. And that more or less set the stage for a very bizarre 2 months that I spent in this commune conducting a federal investigation.
Very bizarre 2 months, they said. And it's not just the FBI, it's the FBI, the ATF, and state and local police.
And Luce, lawyer who won't stop crying, keeps he's talking about how they're coming in through windows, they're kicking open doors, and you see actual broken windows and busted down doors.
Yeah. So apparently, remember Jesus Grove, Sheila's old house?
Oh, yeah.
There was a bunker in there.
At Sheila's luxurious former home, there was a second day of show and tell. Beneath a swimming pool and dirt lot that adjoins the house lies much more than meets the eye.
You guys, they take us through this bunker. Webster, eat your heart out. It is behind doors and clocks and downstairs.
A hidden lever opens a secret door just off the hallway leading to Sheila's former bedroom. Sheela had her own entrance to the tunnel through a secret door in her bathroom. Those who helped build it were apparently told it was a safe place for Bagwan. A button on this air conditioner triggers another secret door leading down a steep stairway to a cavernous room, complete with bathroom and closets. The hallway then leads to a room containing a large hot tub. In one corner, still another secret door, this one leading to a tunnel.
My favorite part is when they walk past the jacuzzi.
Mine too. I was like, there's a hot tub?
But the hot tub is not not the end of the line.
No. There are secret doors and secret levers and hallways and I'm like, how far below the surface of the earth are we really? Because it just keeps going.
And it goes to a tunnel that then like goes way out into the woods. It's like, Sheela, girl.
I know. Who built this for her?
Give a girl a spoon. See what she can do.
When I saw the hot tub, I was like, looks like Hassia isn't the only connoisseur of the best in here. Sheila's like, I'm not going to spend my post-apocalyptic time without a hot tub.
But like the hot tub is so funny because it's like so far away from where you first enter this thing.
It's like the only thing in the room. It's not like a spa with a hot tub.
No, it's like
you just
a hot
walk
tub in
there
a
like,
hallway.
like no one was there when the hot tub was delivered. Like I don't understand like how this all happened. Right? Jane tells a story about how Sheela told her to get untraceable guns. So they went to Texas and got the guns, and they were laughing and singing because they were so happy.
And each time we came out of a shop with another gun, we drove off to the next one. I ripped up the receipt for the gun, threw the bits out the window, and we laughed and sang because we were so happy.
And then Jane has no idea where the guns went. She just dropped them off to some stranger. And she's like, and that's the story about the guns. Come to think of it, where are those guns?
That's the story about the guns.
That's it. Where are they? Untraceable guns. Great. Thank you.
But then we see the Navy divers are searching the lake.
The Navy! The United States Navy is now involved.
Because they're looking for the gun that Boring Jane was going to use to assassinate that guy in Portland.
U.S. Assistant Attorney Robert Weaver told CBS News that a weapon was found that is believed to have been linked to an assassination plot against U.S. Attorney Charles Turner.
So then we learn about Ma Anand Pooja.
Pooja
was the head of like the medical facility there.
Yeah, she was the trained nurse who made all the drugs.
She's the head poisoner. Like if what's his name's the head weirdo, she's the head poisoner.
She poisoned the homeless people.
Yeah.
And Silvertooth shows up and he's like, what's your name? Puta? No, that's a Spanish word you don't want to say. Pooja, that's it.
Silvertooth, settle down, girl.
Yeah.
Pooja used poisoning as an internal tool to regulate. You know, somebody giving you a bad time, they get really sick.
Then we hear from the doctor who was stabbed in the butt. And we just...
Can you say butt again?
Butt? He was stabbed in the butt.
He was stabbed in the butt.
And he says as much.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. He's like, I have pain in my left buttock.
All right. I mean, I guess that's what happens when someone stabs you in your butt cheek. Hey, man, I don't know.
Apparently, police were looking for evidence at the medical clinic that might corroborate Bagwan's allegation that Sheela and friends tried to poison Bagwan's doctor.
I felt this sort of slight pain, sort of funny sensation, and realized all in one terrible flash what was happening. You know, Shanti Bhadra, the pain in my left buttock, the whole poisoning, the whole thing sort of suddenly clarified. My God, these people this is unbelievable, but it's definitely happening, you know.
So that we learned that they were just poisoning people who Sheela thought got out of line. If there was any hanky-panky, she told you she wasn't going to tolerate hanky-panky from this day forward.
So, hang on a second. Lunny Press Relations.
This Lunny Press Relations story is bonkers. This is crazy. Actually crazy.
Wait, can you tell it?
Yeah. So Lunny Press Relations kind of goes back and forth with the story, and there are a couple times where I don't know where she's going with it. So she's like, actually, now that we're talking about poisoning, I have a poisoning story. Like, it's just dawning on her.
Oh,
like, she's
Lunny.
just remembering
Yeah.
it. She's like, oh, you know, I was poisoned. So here's what happened. So funny. This didn't occur to me earlier. When I was crying about how beautiful the whole situation was. So they gave her this like poisoned cup of coffee.
Yeah.
One day, I was offered a cup of coffee. I drank the coffee, and then I immediately ran to the bathroom, and I was just woozy.
And she rushes to the bathroom, and almost immediately someone's pounding on the door like, the ambulance is coming, it's poison. So at this,
And then the next thing I know, I'm on a stretcher to Pythagoras Medical Center, and I'm just out of it. And I just opened my eyes and closed my eyes.
she's telling this part of the story. I'm like, oh, she must have accidentally been poisoned. Like, they didn't mean it for her, because the way she tells it, the pounding on the bathroom door and the ambulance coming happens so fast that someone must have realized they've made a grave mistake. Also, just don't poison people.
That poison was for somebody else.
Exactly. And then Lunny Press Relations, I don't know how true this is, but she turns it into the fact that Sheela was so jealous that Osho gave her Osho tasked her with the job of picking up flowers that people were throwing at him.
Yes.
And Sheela was blind with rage and just had to poison Lunny Press Relations.
But then immediately save her. That's the part of the story that doesn't make
I don't think it was Sheela knocking on that door. I think it was the doctor or somebody else. It was not Sheela. Sheela didn't give a fuck. Sheela was like, now I got to poison somebody else. They totally screwed up my other poisoning.
She woke up several days later. She goes, I woke up several days later.
She was minutes away from dying. Honestly, if the ambulance was caught in traffic or one red light or something, Lunny Press Relations would not be here to tell the story. I promise you.
I gotta tell you, Lunny Press Relations looks great. She looks great.
Yeah, well, when you have no stress and you live on a fucking fantasy world, it must be nice.
Sex 24 hours a day.
Ugh. Crying lawyer Loost keeps saying this phrase gives juice to, and it's so creepy and weird.
I know.
Anybody that Osho gave juice to, Sheela was gonna fuck over. And anybody that Osho gave juice to was going to be attacked by Sheela.
Loost, settle down.
Go back to crying.
Loosten up.
Loosten up, girl. So now, just more people right on cue. Everyone like, I always had a feeling about Sheela. You guys. Everyone's covering their own asses now. First they were shocked to find that gambling's going on in this establishment. And now they're like, I knew it. I totally knew it. I saw it coming.
It's so funny. I have right here that we find out about the salmonella outbreak, and how they did it was they spread it through the salad bars in the local restaurants. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I have in my notes?
What?
Serves you right for eating salad when you go out for dinner. Get the cheese plate, dummy.
Salad?
That's what you're going to get at a restaurant?
Give me a break. Ugh. Can we do a quick garbage minute? A garbage 20 seconds?
Oh, yeah, always.
All right, so the salad bars were not their first attempt at poisoning an entire town.
Yep.
The beavers, like the animals. This is a garbage 10 seconds. I can't handle it.
I was thinking about you.
So, thanks. So, yeah, something tragic's happening to an animal. How's Jillian handling it? Not well. Not well at all. So they heard that beavers carry a lot of bacteria. Don't judge the beavers, okay? They do a lot of good in this world. No one asks you to touch the beavers, okay? Stop it. So they wanted to introduce the beavers into the water supply so they could poison everybody with their bacteria, which I don't think it works. Beavers are in a lot of water supplies. But, what are you talking about?
This is a bad plan, you guys.
Right. So there was a mesh gate that prevented the sweet, sweet, innocent beavers from getting in. So they fucking killed them all and put them in blenders and put them in the water supply. And when that didn't work, they poisoned the salad bar.
But the best part of the garbage minute is that the guy who tells us the story goes, I don't know if that's true or not.
I totally believe it.
Put them in blenders.
I hate it.
Blenders.
I know. And put them in the water supply, then nothing happened. Where's your fucking research? Where'd you read up that beaver, just being around a beaver poisoned someone? What are you talking about? Enlightenment. Give me a break. You guys are dummies. The FBI is saying that the Rajneesh police force was never really all that cooperative. And then crying lawyer was like, yeah, well, we stopped being cooperative when he started asking all those questions.
Being invited down to see what they wanted us to see did not cause us to just accept at face value what they were telling us. And so we didn't just assume that what they were giving us was the full story. We just weren't ready to give the Bagwan a complete pass.
They're trying to show that it wasn't just Sheela who up and ran away. Osho was as involved as she was.
Right. And Loose and Lunny Press Relations are hysterical crying, talking about all he wanted to do was raise the consciousness of humanity.
To raise the consciousness of humanity. That was his goal. That was his effort. That was his only reason for speaking.
Okay, Lunny.
Osho knew nothing about criminal activities. Sniff, sniff. So now, Osho, you guys, the story changes. They're like Jay from Serial. Every day is a different story. Every day. So now Osho is saying that the Rajneesh religion was started by Sheela without his knowledge or approval.
So he's saying that he was just a person with ideas, and that Sheela tried to turn it into like a business.
I'm against all religions. I am not your leader. You are not my follower.
I am not your leader. Shh. So now he doesn't want anything organized, and he says, you can wear whatever color you want.
We're not a religion anymore, you guys.
Okay, when he said that, and I'd seen this, but not for a while. My ears perked up because you quoted this without knowing it because you had never seen it.
Yeah.
So this woman, just let her tell it. The poor thing, she's so happy.
If I can get a turquoise sweater, I would be the happiest woman in the world. But the boutique's sold out, so...
Turquoise sweater, you guys.
I would be the happiest woman in the world.
Boutique is sold out.
Everyone went for the turquoise.
And then we have this whole thing where, like, you know, just to drive home the point that Sheela is public enemy number one, Hassia, no personality Hassia, shows, like, she basically has this ceremony where they're burning all of the books. They're burning all of Osho's books to prove that the religion is dead.
But you're still having, like, this group culty thing. Don't you get it?
And then they're burning Sheila's robes with the books.
Dude, that's That is so creepy.
Okay, hello, everybody. This was Sheila's desire to be high priestess. And Sheila's desire for popedom. And today we're celebrating the fact that Rajneeshism is dead.
So now we're at the Black Forest in Germany. Did you get a glimpse of that fucking hipster riding a penny farthing?
No. What even is that?
A penny farthing, you guys, is that it's like that bike from the 1800s where it's like the one gigantic wheel and then the other one. And in Germany, like through, I guess, the news footage, there's just some guy on a penny farthing. And I'm like, oh my God.
Germany, so take it down a notch.
Germany, relax.
Yeah.
So Sheela admits that she was the queen of this cult, but now that she's in the real world, like she kind of doesn't know how to do it.
Exactly.
She needs money. So Sheela needs to make that paper.
Yeah.
Sheila was contacted by Stern magazine, which is a very popular magazine in Germany.
And Stern magazine paid lots of money for exclusive story.
A German magazine called Stern. Germans, we get it. Like, of course the Germans name their magazine something that means like severe,
Totally.
strict, stern.
You guys, this is the third documentary we've covered where the Germany press gets the scoop. JT Leroy, the one about the foot in the grill.
Oh, yeah. The Germans loved it.
The Germans always get the scoop.
Right. So this is why Sheela was in a horse and buggy, because they had to smuggle her out of Germany. And then she took like a horse and buggy and then a car to a boat to a secret island in the North Sea to do the super exclusive interview. I don't know why I can't talk today, guys. Sorry. She posed naked on the bed.
She poses naked on the bed.
But she's not like, let me just to be clear about it. She's not sexual really.
No.
She's just sitting, like Jane is next to her fully clothed.
Yeah.
They're all just sitting and talking and Sheila's like, yeah, I'll take my clothes off.
Sheila doesn't care. I feel like that's exactly what Sheila would have said. Sheila will take her clothes off. Sheila doesn't care.
Yeah, Sheila's courageous. Sheila's a woman. Sheila will take her clothes off. Hold Sheila's clothes.
Stern magazine sold so many copies. You have no idea.
So back on the ranch, the FBI is about to do like a major raid. Like that's the next order of business.
I love a good FBI raid.
Yeah.
Remember when they raided Warren Jeffs?
Oh, yeah.
That was the best.
Oh, yeah. Raid is great. And this raid that they're talking about doing is kind of in the air. It's not like imminent, but it's like in the air. And the lawyer who wants to crying knows about it. And they're trying to link Osho to Sheila's crimes, but he's saying there's no evidence of that.
Right.
And then Osho tells his people not to cooperate with the FBI anymore.
To my sannyasins, I would like to say, now no cooperation. Nobody goes to report anything. Our cooperation is finished. Now they can go to hell.
So basically, the FBI needs someone to sing like a canary.
Yes.
Like most of these big cases.
Exactly.
Because it's like they cover, Sheela was too smart. They covered everything. They just need someone to spill the tea.
And they can't really get anybody, but then KD, the old mayor, Krishna Diva, hey girl, she comes back. And basically, Krishna Diva, hey girl, has made a deal with prosecutors.
He has also agreed to turn state's evidence and has given obviously spectacular information and insights into the highest levels of a conspiracy of lawbreaking.
that was a key turning point. There were many things that I heard from KD that were even more damning to the Rajneeshis than I had expected.
So this guy's information was like super damaging.
Right.
It results in the FBI getting arrest warrants for Bagwan and 7 of his followers.
And Sheela, the Bagwan, and a bunch of other people.
Right. And the idea is that they want to arrest Sheela and the Bagwan at the same time. And spoiler, Sheela in Germany is 50 miles from the Swiss border.
Right.
And if she gets to Switzerland, she can't be extradited.
She's untouchable.
So then we cut to like the locals, and the local rancher's like, yeah, one of those FBI dudes was like, hey, if you ever see anything weird, like you should give us a call and let us know. Jillian, what does he see?
Oh, jets.
And I'm riding horseback up the road with a little bunch of cows, and 2 Lear jets flew into the Rajneesh ranch. I called Tom and told him, I said, 2 Lear jets went in about 45 minutes ago. They just left.
We see the video of these Lear jets. Lear jets landing at the commune. The guy doesn't call then.
No.
He's like, wait till he gets home, calls his contact, and he's like, yeah, 2 Lear jets landed and then took off.
For like 15 minutes.
Right.
And then, no, that's a pickup.
Right. They weren't delivering pizza. They were picking up the Bagwan.
I mean, come on.
So then episode 5 ends with the FBI finding out that these Lear jets have taken off.
Well, I was surprised, but then I saw opportunity.
So part 6 opens, and it's like this insane thing where the jets are in the air, and like the people on the ranch, like the lawyer that winds up crying, Hasia, none of these people knew this was happening, and they're desperately trying to get in touch with the airplane.
We got on phones and started trying to get hold of the plane to tell them to turn around. Somehow, federal agencies were blocking communication to the airplane.
Everyone, like the cult, the FBI, the ATF, everyone, the news crews, everyone in the world is trying to get into like the radio of this jet and figure out what the hell is going on.
And it's like, where are they going? And then we see this like super 80s news map where like the FBI's best guess is that they've got to refuel in Charlotte. They don't have enough fuel to get out of the country.
You guys, don't you stock up before you try to bolt? What a bunch of idiots. Right. And for some reason, based on, I don't know, science, they figure out that they're heading for Bermuda because, again, untouchable in Bermuda.
I didn't know that Bermuda was like like a non-extraditing country. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. But
yeah. So there's this whole rigmarole where the plane like lands in Charlotte.
But the thing is, the plane tries to get away by just driving down the tarmac, like because it can't take off yet.
Right.
So there's this footage of the plane, like in my head, it's like running away.
You guys can see
driving, and the cars are like chasing after the plane, and everyone's on their wheels, and I'm like, it's so weird to see a plane try to get away, not in the air,
going like 4 miles.
Just like jogging, like looking over its shoulder, like what? It's kind of amazing.
And so the agents had to race down the tarmac, and they got the jump on the plane. So they surrounded them, pulled out their weapons, told the pilots to put their hands on the glass.
And then they storm the plane.
Finally, because the plane's like, oh, I ran out of gas again, you fucking dummies.
But the Bagwan, you guys, these are little Lear jets. The Bagwan is like hiding behind a seat. Girl.
What is on the plane? It's him and 10 other people, plus $55,000 in cash, jewelry, guns, and his throne. He's a guy with a small peen who likes shiny things.
So he's arrested. He's taken to like jail, I guess.
Like in Charlotte.
In Charlotte. And all of a sudden we're getting all these like reports of the circus that is Charlotte.
I know.
There were songs on the radio about Bagwan was captured in Charlotte. There were T-shirts being sold outside the courthouse.
Big seller, the hot pink thing. Everybody likes that one.
But my favorite part, the news crews are interviewing the local residents about like
what's it like to have a cult leader in your local jailhouse?
I think his wealth is really something else. It just blows my mind that somebody can have 90 Rolls Royces. Isn't that how many he has? And 2 Lear jets. That's really impressive.
Gee, it's a free country. I don't know if he's breaking the law. I guess they should do something if he's not. I suppose they should leave him alone.
I was really impressed by his wealth. Girls, settle
Charlotte,
down.
You're better than that. True Clearly. Jane is arrested for attempted murder and seems to be shocked by this.
The charge was attempted murder of Bagwan's physician. My knees went out from under me.
Girl, you just told the story about getting untraceable guns. You were the one who told us about trying to kill the elected official, but she's shocked by this. Oh, okay. And the doctor.
Right.
She stabbed the doctor in the butt.
Despite all of this shit that she's done, she's still boring to me.
She's just
boring Jane.
And Sheila's also in custody. Not at all boring. Sheila is also in custody.
And Sheila tells this crazy story.
There were so many journalists around this prison. These German police guys were pulling out photos of me and I had to autograph them. It was bizarre.
Meanwhile, in Charlotte, Osho's mortified by the prison attire he has to wear. Crying lawyer is sobbing about it. Not crying, sobbing. He's just sitting there in his prison dungarees.
He was unchained. He was just the same as when he was sitting in front of 10,000 people when he was sitting there in prison dungarees.
Crying lawyer is hysterical. Let me tell you something. The reason why crying lawyer is crying so much, I think, one, because he's just totally unstable. But two, and you guys, I cry mostly at happy things. I'm just a basket case anyway, so I'm not saying crying is bad. I think it's super therapeutic. But he's also, he's never in the inner circle.
That's right.
He thinks he is.
Even
he
as
wants
the mayor.
to be. Why wasn't he on the plane if he's so important?
I know.
I think that's part of where the tears are.
He'll
He'll never live up to, he'll never get dad's approval. He's never getting daddy's approval ever.
And then we see, the Bagwan, they've got to get him from Charlotte back to Portland, and they do this crazy, convoluted thing where they bounce him all over the country, and he's, on buses, and he's in airplanes, and he's in jail cells.
Yeah.
But they're saying that, this is their way of getting him to cooperate. That,
they're just trying to break him down.
Yeah, let us show you how bad we can make things for you.
Yeah, I think our assumption was he probably wouldn't like that bus ride. He probably wouldn't like his roommates.
Everyone's freaking out, especially Hasia. They're all doing press conferences how dare you treat... Because you guys, they're acting like Osho's the victim, but really he's part of a criminal empire.
Exactly.
And they're not acknowledging it.
Right.
So at one point, someone apparently in prison, I think it's his roommate, has herpes.
Oh my God, yes. They put him in with a person with herpes.
Hasia cannot hit... She's like, herpes. Herpes, everybody. This is an outrage. Girl. Wake up.
Herpes. I think this is outrageous.
Just wake up.
So Sheila arrives for trial. She pleads guilty. She gets 4.5 years. She's got to pay $400,000 in fines.
And she has to leave the U.S. She's like, good, I kind of like Germany anyway. Who cares?
Boring Jane is found guilty of attempted murder. She's going to serve 10 years.
Crying lawyer's crying again. And he's really choked up because basically Osho's like, look, if the government would fight fairly, I'd take it all the way to the Supreme Court. But they're not going to fight fair, and I'm too sick and old. He's the only one who's like, girls, I can't do this.
Right.
And I'm guilty. And I did it. I facilitated all this.
I just have the lawyer is an utter basket case.
And then he said, if they would fight this fairly, I would go to the Supreme Court. But my body cannot sustain. My body cannot take the things that the things that have been subjected to. Make a deal and I will leave.
So Bagwan agrees to make a deal and leave. He's not going to fight this, but he still has to go to court and get this all hammered out. He shows up to court and there's this whole thing about from the DA or whatever, the prosecutor, saying that
in those days, court artists drew pictures. There was a very strong presence in that room of a dark aura. The Rajneeshis who had packed the courtroom were sending that right up my spine.
This does not seem like a guy who typically talks about auras and energy and shit, but he's talking about all of the Rajneeshis who were in the room.
Yeah.
And what a black, dark cloud they were sending at him.
The last time he felt that way was when he was in the room with the Ayatollah. You guys, not peace and love. Not just a bunch of people wearing orange and having sex in the desert.
It's corroborated by the actual artist in the court has drawn these pictures with the actual dark energy.
The Bagwan looks so evil. And I don't know if this is just like from the artist's perspective.
Yeah.
But these evil shoulder pads, did you check those?
Since Dorothy Spornak.
He looked but pointier. Hers were just looked like mountains, but his looked like an actual like a space age villain. It's so
He looks
scary.
like a space age villain. He
does.
sits in a space age villain chair.
It's true. It's
He's
so scary.
creepy.
Guys.
Why does anybody find him spiritually uplifting?
I don't get it. So he pleads guilty to immigration fraud and agrees to leave the country. You guys, that's not a punishment.
Right, totally.
I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
So then Osho's being led to a car or a plane or something, and someone, I don't know if it's Hasia, but someone's like, give him space for the love of God. And then a reporter literally goes, who are you, lady?
Yeah.
I want it to be Hasia so
made
bad.
The Godfather.
I want it to be Hasia so bad because I want people to not know who she is.
Totally,
and I want her to know that people don't know who she is. So the cult is disbanding, crying lawyer's crying, everyone's sad, the locals are happy. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, and as fast as they came, they were gone.
Totally.
I think it's time, and I think it's happening at a very appropriate time, Thanksgiving. And we are very grateful. I thoroughly believe that there was a divine hand behind all this. I don't think America has a place for these people.
The crying lawyer was left to clean up the mess because guess what? He was still the mayor.
Yeah.
Like he still had responsibilities, air quotes. You guys, it wasn't real. Like,
no.
I know you're on the city council. I know you had like irrigation, but none of it was real.
All that shit is still there.
Yeah. Well, except the signs welcoming you to the city because the locals ripped those shits down as soon as possible.
Yes, they
and you
sure
see
did.
them, and the thing is, it's like, oh, don't you want to have like a nice, pretty one? No. They butchered the signs, and then they just like put like gigantic nails, and they didn't care where they just wanted it to say Main Street again, Main Street.
Totally.
In Antelope, this was a day of tearing down and a day of building up.
Well, I think everybody was pretty elated, when it all fell apart. People felt like they'd finally gotten their town back, which they did.
And one of the locals is like, it was miserable, and quite frankly, I don't want to talk about it or be known for it. Then don't welcome a documentary crew into your home and tell a story for 6 hours.
But the locals do say that like Antelope will never be the same. That like a lot of people left, the school closed, the cafe's gone.
That's horrible.
It is. It was like this little sleepy town of 50 people that all knew each other, and now it's all
There's like
over.
11 of them left.
Yeah. So Sheela gives her first interview from federal prison, and she is pissed.
She's been in prison for a year.
Yeah.
Federal prison. Sheila is running every card game. She's got piles of cigarettes. She doesn't make the toilet wine. It is brought to her at a perfect 62 degrees. She's running that shit. Don't let anyone tell you any different. So does she have anything to say to Oregonians? Does she ever?
Now, are you daring me?
I'm daring you to look at
Now,
the camera.
come on. Are you daring me to do
I'm just
this?
asking you, after a year down here, looking back on all of what happened, looking back on all of that, today looking back on that experience.
Okay. I say to all Oregonians that you did not understand Bagwan, nor did you understand his teaching, nor did you understand Sheela. You have missed out on Rajneeshi, their business, their intelligence, and their very special ability of celebration and laughter. I laugh more at you than Oregonians who say that we are happy that Sheela is in prison. No.
She's like, we have a special ability to laugh about murder and poisoning. And Sheila's like happy as a clam. She's happier than anyone in this documentary.
It's true. It's true.
And then when they ask her about, like, do you have remorse for poisoning people? And her answer?
People get sick all the time.
Why should I feel bad about it?
Are you sorry about anything that happened in Oregon? The people that did get sick, the people that did get hurt by all of this? Do you have
People
any
get
remorse?
sick all over the world on daily basis. Why should I feel remorse?
Because you made it happen. And you didn't Sheila, people get colds all the time.
Right.
Like, I have a little bit of a runny nose because the AC, thank God, is blasting in here. But to, like, blend up beavers to try to kill people and then like sprinkle salmonella. I mean, people almost died.
Those poor beavers did die. So now we're back in India. So that's where the Bagwan goes. The Bagwan goes back to India.
Right.
You guys, he pulls up in a Rolls Royce. It has a vanity plate that says Bagwan. Did you see the vanity plate?
Yes. And then, which is ridiculous, because then he's like, I don't want to be the Bagwan anymore. I'm not anybody. We're not anything. I'm not anything. I don't want to do anything. And it's like, okay. So then Crying Lawyer is like, you know what? We'll give you a new name, Osho, which means like the high priest in Buddhism. With the vanity plate and the followers and the preaching and the shhhhhhing. Like, it's all such bullshit. What is going on? And then he dies. Then he dies.
And there's this whole ceremony.
Like, why are there still 40 more minutes left in this documentary? I have that in my notes. Why? What else could they possibly cover for 40 minutes? The guy dies. The end. They burned his body. Crying Lawyer's crying. He was such a gift. All right. Okay. Whatever, man. Boring Jane opens a juice bar in Germany. Good for her, I guess. Sheela doesn't think Osho's death was a natural one.
But she doesn't really want to get into it. It's not her business anymore.
Right. She's like, it was the Hollywood crowd. I'm not saying anything, but it was totally the Hollywood crowd.
And then we find out that, like, Sheela runs, like, a communal living home for people with, like, dementia, Parkinson's, schizophrenia.
Look, my grandmother had dementia. It's a horrible, horrible, tragic thing.
Yeah.
Sheela, again, English is her second language.
Right.
She works with demence. Sheela, a little sensitivity. Look, working in elder care and taking care of people like that is the Lord's work, whatever.
Yes,
Marsha and Sylvia's work, like, it's really incredible. So many complicated feelings about Sheela.
Yes,
because
a zillion
to
percent.
devote the rest of your life to this, and what she says is like, she used that sense of community.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want old people to feel rejected. It's so beautiful, but then I'm like, is she going to poison all them?
Maybe.
At dinner time? Like,
I know.
I don't know, man.
But it's a very, like, it's a calling, and God bless you,
And God bless her, really.
Yeah.
And the religion, not a religion, I don't know, is it? Whatever. It's still going strong. Tons of books are being sold.
Yeah, it's like they're making more money now than ever. Like, the lawyer who won't stop crying was saying that they signed 1,000 new book contracts this year.
Where is it going, though?
Who knows? There's got to be...
Bagwan LLC.
Exactly.
Silvertooth is like, it sounded like a gimmick to me.
And then it kind of just ends with Sheela saying, I loved this ending. It ends with Sheela saying, when I die, I don't know if I'll go to hell or heaven, but it doesn't matter. Wherever I end up, I will create my own paradise. Yes, Sheela. Yes, girl.
And then...
I know. And this is where she had me.
Finished? I thought it will never come to an end, my life. We definitely all need a drink. Okay?
I mean, we do actually need a drink.
We sure do,
yes, girl. We do need a drink.
I love how she's like, finished? Yes. Yes. We go to the bar? Yes. The way she says finished. I thought it would never end.
I know. I
love these people who sign all the waivers, sign everything, invite a camera crew into their home, and then they're like, I really don't want to talk about it.
I gotta say, these were long episodes, but I loved this
these
documentary.
These last two were especially.
Like, when it first came out, I tried to watch it. I couldn't get into it. But there's something about talking about this shit with you.
Oh,
I loved this documentary.
Yeah, it's so well, everything but that goddamn font.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, what's next?
You guys, we're gonna do Wiener. We're doing Wiener, and it's not as hot as it sounds.
No, it's about Anthony Weiner and what a piece of absolute fiery garbage he is.
He's super garbage, and we had a text exchange about this today. I think he's sexy as hell.
I really don't.
I know.
I just nothing.
I know.
Nothing about him, physically or not, is attractive to me.
You guys, so we have that, and then we are off the following week for Labor Day.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't had a week off from this podcast in months, it feels like.
Oh, my God.
I know.
I can't remember the last time.
You guys, don't forget to check out our Patreon. Patreon's going crazy. We're up to episode 5 of The Staircase, all of the serial, all of the bonus episodes, all of the interviews that we've done.
Madonna's Truth or Dare.
Madonna's Truth or Dare.
Rabia.
I know, Rabia. It's so fun. Get in there. And don't forget to stay tuned all the way to the very end after the palate cleanser for that funny little clip from the staircase. Also, Patreon subscribers are going to have first dibs to all of our upcoming live events, which we will be announcing eventually.
Yeah.
Where can they find us, girl?
At True Crime Obsess on the Twitter. Our brand new, gorgeous, shiny website.
Beautiful website.
TrueCrimeObsessed.com that has the calendar. You can get the Patreon right from there. Or you can go to patreon.com/TrueCrimeObsessed.
Where can they find you?
At Jillian with a G.
I'm at Patrick Hines on the Twitter, at Patrick Hines _ in the Instagram. You guys, this week's palate cleanser is from Pretty Woman, starring my very, very oldest and bestest girlfriend, Ellen Marie Marsh. But the song is sung by Samantha Barks. I'm obsessed with it. It's called I Can't Go Back. Go see Pretty Woman if you haven't. It just opened.
You loved it.
Loved it. It's so great. It's at the Nederlander Theater where Rent was.
I love the Nederlander.
I know. Stay tuned for our hilarious outtakes. Tam. The trailer for Wiener. And then I Can't Go Back from Pretty Woman.
The trailer for Wiener. Buckle up, you guys. I don't even know.
Why are they filming you?
I don't know. I most of the time I don't know why they're filming.
Are you somebody I'm supposed to know?
It's Republicans wrapping their arms around Republicans rather than doing the right thing on behalf of the heroes.
It was an absolute pleasure to see a Democrat not cowering.
Married to one of Hillary Clinton's closest advisors.
You never back down from anybody.
A photo of an anonymous man's bulging underwear
was tweeted from Congressman Wiener's account.
Today I am announcing my resignation from Congress.
The punchline is true about me. I did the dumb thing, but I did a lot of good things too. Running for mayor was the straightest line to clean up the mess that I had made.
This is Anthony Weiner calling. Yes, I'm not Anthony Weiner, the one running for mayor.
Why do you think you deserve the second chance?
I didn't want to answer. I'm giving you the answer.
I thought you were thinking about it. I thought
no,
you were
I'm
trying
talking
to
words. What I'm going to try to talk about is the issues facing New York City.
Are more women going to come home? Just a quick optics thing. You will look happy.
Don't push up, Anthony. Show it to me again. Oh my God.
I can't believe I gave the press the finger.
How many women were there? Can you remember?
What I would like to talk about is housing in the Bronx. Any questions about that?
Why should we trust your judgment?
We're going to try to look like we're holding together as a group. I am profoundly sorry. And for that, I am profoundly sorry.
Does the wife's absence say anything? What is wrong with you?
What is he so afraid of?
Your
brother said that your father never hugged you. Do you believe you're suffering from any sort of addiction?
What are you, the referee over there?
We are staying calm and managing the situation.
You're a real scumbag, Anthony.
Takes one to know one, jackass.
Why didn't he just walk?
Let me just be brutally honest with you. There's no chance to win anymore.
Thought it was going pretty well. It's really apocalyptic right now.
But at a certain point, you've got to say, look, I don't quit.
This is the worst. Doing a documentary on my scandal.
Hi.
Yeah, crying lawyer loose. Like, for some reason, they didn't cover that in law school. He was in India that day, I guess. So they say at one point, one of the journalists is like, it would take one person 8 hours a day for 2 years to listen to all of the audio. Like, oh my God. I mean, they're all stoned the whole time anyway and having loud sex. Hopefully consensual, just saying.
Senator Weaver, we can skip him.
I love how he was like, I remember how I didn't have any evidence? Yeah. I was totally right. And then he tells the House floor that's empty. No one showed up for his little celebratory meeting. Whatever. Also, crying lawyer is crying again with footage from when Katie got flipped.
Oh,
when
God.
Katie flipped, he was like, I can't believe it. Whatever. Yeah.
She abandoned her kid. He got a brain tumor and died. Jane, you are garbage.
She was singing and laughing about untraceable guns. Go fuck yourself, man. I'm done. Done.
I have regrets, but I can't change the past. I want the real thing. Is that too much to ask? For the first time in my life, it gets to be my choice. I feel I found myself, yeah, and I found my voice. I can't go back. I've seen a different world. I can't go back. I'm a different girl. I I sold my body, but I never sold my soul. I've learned I don't need anyone, it's me who's in control. They can take away my innocence, but they can't erase my pride. I've seen a better life, I've seen the other side. I can't go back. I've seen a different world, I can't go back. I'm a different girl, I can't go back to who I was before. I can't go back. I can't go
You guys, we're like 30 seconds into the her giving her testimony. It cuts to Frida Black, and I just go, red alert, we gotta talk about Frida's blowout.
And the makeup. I know. Her makeup is everything you should never do.
It's true. It has like that line in the neck where you can see where she stopped.
Blend it. Get a beauty blender. Even back then, they had sponges back then. Use your fingers. Just a little. The eyeliner, the rouge. It's not even blush. It's like rouge. The lipstick. You know what she looks like?
What?
You guys, in I, Tonya, one of the last programs that Tonya Harding does, where she's all like, the whole fucking world is falling down around her, and she's wearing that like maroon outfit, and she's sitting and she's like putting the makeup on, and she's like smiling through tears, and it's the scariest thing ever. And she just has that red like paint, body paint that she's just scrubbing on either side. That's how Frida Black looks.
She has a flask under the table at all times. Am I wrong?
Girl, same. Like, I mean.
You can find this hilarious episode and all of our hilarious bonus content at patreon.com/truecrimeobsessed or by clicking the Patreon link on our website.